getting in touch, namely on two issues: the proposed erection of pylons across the Lincolnshire countryside and the failed flood defences in Horncastle. Today, two MPs have felt the scorn of local residents. One will join me in a moment. The other has been with Jake Zuckerman, who reports from Alford.
It really does feel like the people of Lincolnshire are being trampled to the ground here.
I've been an angry young man, now I'm an angry old man, in that we've been kind of hoodwinked.
Disappointed, disillusioned, worried, concerned.
Fear, anger and uncertainty. At Croft near Skegness, these worried residents met with their local MP to discuss plans which would see 50-metre-high pylons crossing miles of rural Lincolnshire. Pylons they fear will spoil the landscape and take up valuable agricultural land.
50% of the Grade 1 agricultural land is in Lincolnshire. We produce 60% of the UK food. It's going to destroy, I think, 17,000 acres of land.
Others fear the lives they've worked so hard to build will be changed beyond recognition.
This is exactly why I moved to Lincolnshire, for this lifestyle, to have this little piece of heaven, really. I describe it, even on a really cold, wet, miserable day like today, it's still just the best thing ever. And this potentially is all going to be ruined with the building of a substation right next door, really.
I am concerned that when I've looked into it, that the property values can be devalued by anything up to 75%, which is astronomical, really, because there are people around here that do want to sell their houses.
As the country moves from fossil fuel to renewable sources, National Grid says new infrastructure is needed to move the energy from where it's produced to where it's used. And that's why it plans to build nearly 90 miles of new overhead cable from Grimsby through Lincolnshire to Norfolk. National Grid says the project will cost about £1 billion, and if it put the cables underground, it would cost 6 times as much, something we'd all have to pay for with higher electricity bills.
The framework that National Grid should be looking at should consider food security. It should consider broader factors than simply what's the cheapest route. And longer term, I think the conclusion that would draw us to would be doing this offshore rather than necessarily tunnelling onshore.
Campaigners say opposition to the plans is growing.
So this is the petition that I've made. As you can see, we've already got 5,468 people who've already signed on it. It's only been out just under about 6 weeks. Almost every week we're getting at least 1,000 people signing up.
The first stage of the public consultation is due to end on the 13th of March, but it'll be some time before a final decision is reached. Jake Zuckerman, BBC Look North, Croft.
Yeah, I can see the anxiety and the anger there from people in Skegness, and it's been no different in Horncastle.